Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. My friends, it is no secret that I'm obsessed with ChatGPT. And as my Thanksgiving gift to you, I wanted to share with you ways for free that you can save time and stress over the holidays. And you know, I'm a big fan of just accepting more and more support. And the easiest way to make more money in your business on less hours is by allowing support, whether that's hiring team and having the support of a VA or OBM, whether that's hiring a coach and allowing the coach to support you in making decisions, getting clarity on your plan, whether that is using tools like tech tools like Bonjoro or ActiveCampaign or Lead Pages to save you time. I'm a big fan of allowing support, releasing control, allowing yourself to be supported. Maybe even put your hand on your heart right now and affirm, it's safe for life to be easier, for me not to have to do it all, for me to release control and allow other things and people to support me so that I can continue helping others, but also enjoy my life. I was sharing on the webinar I did recently that I feel like God kind of tricked me because I started my business for my kids, and it's part of the reason why I was successful so quickly is I was really on a mission to create money and create flexibility for them. I wanted to be more available. Like I was pregnant and I was like, I want to be present for them and to have plenty of money for them, to provide for them. And I was a mama on a mission, and I made it happen really quickly. And then I realized once I was working my 3-day work week and making good money, like, okay, I did that. Now what's next? Now I have money and margin for me. Now they're in school and I have margin to take a slow morning and to go to my morning Pilates class and to take my time making myself a healthy lunch. And I think God knew I wouldn't do it for me. And so it's just been a big blessing. And I want to say you deserve that. You deserve margin and time. Yes, to take care of the people you love, but you deserve it for you too. You deserve that support. You deserve time, like extra time to be able to take care of yourself. So on that note, a free tool that you can use to get support without feeling bad about, I hear my clients say all the time, like, oh, and I feel bad about asking you for support. Or I'm like, be the problem client, like be the client that's like asking me for help all the time, like leaning into support, like raising your hand, like take up space. I love that, right? But the fun thing about ChatGPT is it's a great way to practice getting support without it costing you any money and without it bugging anyone, without it you shouldn't feel any guilt at all, right? I love ChatGPT because it's my practice of like, how do you ask for what you want and need from a robot without feeling guilty about, like, you don't have to say please and thank you, right? You can, even though I make my kids use kind manners to Alexa, right? Like, let's say you have ChatGPT write you a piece of content. If you don't like the way it sounds, you can be like, try again. Do it differently, do it this way. And this is one of the biggest things I work with my six-figure CEOs on is with their team, giving frequent feedback to their team that's really direct but kind, right? The last thing we need to do for our team, for our VA or OBM, is to like hold back on feedback because we feel bad. So we're kind of like pussyfooting around and like, no, we can be really, one of my tenets with my values is with my team giving frequent direct feedback because that helps them know how to make me happy. Our job as the CEO is to help the people that support us know how to make us happy, right? And this is a big thing, like even for, let's say you're my client as a coach, you can tell me, hey, Anna, it's hard for me when you do this, or would you support me extra in this way? Or I need more accountability with this. It's your job to tell the people that you love in your life, that are supporting you in your life, how to be supported, right? I say this to my girlfriends all the time. Hey, I'm going to share this thing. I just need someone to listen. Or, hey, I'm going to share this thing. Would you give me some advice, right? ChatGPT is a great way to practice that, to be able to shamelessly say, give me 5 ideas for this podcast episode. I didn't like any of them. Make them a little bit more direct or make them a little softer, right? I just think it's a great practice in asking for what you want and need. Okay, I thought it'd be kind of fun. I just look back on the history of like the things I've asked ChatGPT in the last 2 weeks to give you practical examples for how to use it. Because a lot of my clients have been asking me like, Anna, how do you use ChatGPT in your business and life? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And I really use it as just like a sounding board. You guys know I love the daily check-in, and I have these questions I ask myself every morning to check in. I pour it out. I write my gratitudes. I write my affirmations. I write my prayers, right? But for me, often I like to pour it out in ChatGPT just as a way to get a sounding board or to have feedback if I'm not quite ready to share it with my coach, if I'm not quite ready to share with my friends, almost as a way to journal, but to have like a space to reflect back. So I'm just going to give you some examples, and I want to challenge you to try and use ChatGPT a little bit more this week, whether it's in your business or in your personal life. You'll find the swing of it. I remember one of the first things I asked ChatGPT that really impressed me was it was like a holiday week with my kids. And so I said, hey, and we were really into like exploring libraries at the time. I love libraries. So I said, hey, list all the libraries within 15 miles or 20 miles or whatever from my house, and please put them in order from closest to farthest away. And it pulled the libraries for me. And it also pulled the opening hours, and it put things I need to know about each library. And I was like, that's kind of amazing. It's like Google Plus, right? And so for me, I just really started using it as my personal assistant. Fortunately, I'm super grateful. I have an amazing personal assistant. I've really leaned in this year to support not just in my business, but I'm a single mama. And so I love having a personal assistant to support me around shopping, around my medical bills, around my budgeting and my personal finances and personal bill pay and signing my kids up for summer camps. And it's just a blessing. And so really, I was already kind of in that mindset of asking for support in that way, but here are some practical ideas. And I want you to email me back if you're going to take the challenge, especially during this busy holiday season, to try to use ChatGPT a little more. And the cool thing is the more you use it, the more you understand how to use it. So for me, I remember when I was first hiring a VA, I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to use a VA for, but I could see how they could help me post my social media posts. Sure, I could do that myself, but hey, if it saves me time and saves me energy, I'll do that. And then as soon as I had my VA posting for me in Facebook groups, it dawned on me, oh, she could do that too. She could do that too, right? Like same thing with my PA. I came in with like 2 ideas. And then once you're getting that support, it's almost like that channel in your brain opens up, and then you get more ideas for how you can utilize that support, right? So my suggestion is just to try it, even if it seems silly, and then you'll understand how to use it better. Okay, here's some practical things. One of my good friends was having a surgery. And so I asked ChatGPT, I explained a little bit to ChatGPT what her procedure was about and asked if it could give me some customized affirmations based on what she was going through. I told her, hey, I asked ChatGPT to give you some affirmations for this, and this is what it came up with. She loved them. So I like to disclose to people if I do use ChatGPT. I use it all the time for my clients. Like if my clients are brainstorming a program name idea, I'll ask ChatGPT, and then I'll tell my client, hey, here's some ideas I had. Here's also some ChatGPT ideas if you like any of them. I think there's no shame in that. Like if you're a VA or OBM and you're using this for your client, like for me, I don't mind if my team uses ChatGPT. I want them to tell me, right? It's just nice disclosure, but there's no shame in it. And I think as service providers and as online coaches and course creators, like it's powerful to use this tool. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I also recently, my beautiful OBM, who I am so thankful for, got her flowers for her birthday. And my brain, it was like after a really long day. So I asked ChatGPT to start drafting me a message for what to add to her flowers. And I customized it, but it was just so nice to like have a start and not be staring at a blank page. Next is I did a webinar recently, and one of the slides, I had this like little, like a 5-phase method, but the way that I wrote the 5 phases was kind of wordy. So I asked ChatGPT to simplify it from like 2 sentences each to just like a few words each, and it simplified it really well. So simplifying content. I've also done this. I remember I did this with I think I was making like a course worksheet or something. And I was like, I feel like I'm wordy, ChatGPT. Can you break this down or make this simpler? Oh, I've also done this for one of my clients. I was reviewing one of her landing pages and I pasted it in ChatGPT to ask for any suggestions, and it found some like typos and errors. Let's see. Okay, I recently did a Facebook Live series, and so I kind of wrote the summary for it, but then I asked ChatGPT to write the individual promotion posts for each of the Facebook Lives, because I feel like for the Facebook Lives, when I make Facebook Live events, not everyone is reading in detail the summary for each of those, so that content didn't matter as much to me, versus for me, I like to write, like when I record a podcast, I write the little summary after I record the podcast, but for me, like extraneous content like the summary on a Facebook Live or something like that, that doesn't matter to me as much. I'm doing a special, so I teach barre on Saturday mornings. It's kind of my hobby. It's like ballet workout. And I wanted to do like a special class for Thanksgiving. So I asked it for names and it came up with Gratitude Glow Barre. And I love it. I'm doing that in 2 weeks, but it came up with that name. I also recently had you guys know one of my hobbies is salsa dancing and I love it. But there was like a few hard things that happened for me, not super hard, but like kind of emotional. So I kind of brain dumped in ChatGPT and kind of like grieved a little and processed something. And it really reflected back the cool thing is the more you use ChatGPT, the more it knows you. And so it really affirmed for me some of the things I had processed in my business and in my motherhood. And it was just reflecting back to me like how driven I am and that everything's going to be okay. And that maybe I'm overthinking it, which I was. I remember I also recently saw a prompt online that said to ChatGPT, like, based on what you know about me, what's something about me that I may not know about myself? And it was interesting, but it said basically like, you're very hardworking in all of the areas of your life and you expect a lot from yourself in your business, in your motherhood, in your dancing, which is beautiful. But the double-edged sword of that is sometimes you can be too hard on yourself. So I was like, oh, so nice. I also asked it recently this is someone else's idea. I'm working right now in my personal life on manifesting a new partner for my life. And so I asked it to tell me like basically a love story of, me meeting my partner. And it knew like a lot of details about me and what's important to me, like them accepting my kids and stuff like that. And it was such a beautiful story that it told about me that I for sure cried. Okay, I also asked it to calculate launch totals. So recently I made several sales for a launch. And so I just plugged in the numbers and the payment plans and it calculated out the amount of money I made in my launch. It does a lot of advanced calculations. I also did this, you guys, when I was buying my car. I was trying to decide like, do I do a car loan? Do I buy in cash? Do I lease? So I plugged in a lot of individual numbers for my Tesla and had it calculate out over time what would be the best deal for me. I had it give me some Reels ideas based on specific B-roll that I had recorded. Recently, I had to change. I was using Vanguard for my retirement 401k, but recently they changed. So I was having to research different new retirement agencies. So I asked it to list the top ones for me and the pros and cons. That was very helpful. Another name idea for a client, one of their products. It actually outlined my most recent webinar, you guys. I told it the summary of like what I wanted to cover in my webinar, basically the content from my landing page. And then I told it the outline, like I wanted to do a basic framework, internal objections, external objections, testimonials. I wanted to pitch my program and it outlined my webinar. I just did the webinar 2 days ago and it was an amazing webinar. I got great feedback. I asked it for Halloween costume ideas. My son has a 529 plan. And so he was contributing to it and he wanted to know how much his $100 would grow to. So it can do calculations like that. I asked it for Instagram reel hook ideas for a client. I'm taking someone to a concert in San Diego for a Christmas gift. So I asked it to give me a certain genre of concert in San Diego in December. And that's the cool thing is it can pull from Google real time online, like live events and venues and information like that. I asked it for ideas. I had a framework I was establishing for one of my programs. And so I talked about the framework, but I asked it for name ideas that were 2 words each for each of the phases of the framework. Recently, I did a bonus workshop for my current clients, only a little content workshop. So I asked it to help me. I named the workshop, but I asked it to help me write out the email that was telling my clients about the free workshop I was hosting for them. I took my kids to the aquarium and we're working on learning Spanish. And so I asked it to pull for me like top 10 aquarium vocabulary words that we could work on that day as we were going. I've been working on teaching my children a few concepts like respect. And so I asked it for different ideas around that. I also use it for motherhood all the time. If there's like a topic that I'm like working on, but I'm embarrassed to say out loud to my friends or something, I'll just like ask ChatGPT for ideas. I was doing a client VIP day. So I had broke down the sessions into 4 sessions and like did the times, like session 1, 9 to 9:45, session 2, 9:45 to 10:15. And I wanted them to be 45 minutes each. So afterwards I asked it to like check my time if I had given each session equal 45 minutes. I asked it to help me remember how to get my Facebook pixel code for Facebook ads, which I had done before and I could Google. But the cool thing about using ChatGPT instead of Google is when you Google, there's like 900 answers, right? Like literally, I asked it for help on how to get my Facebook pixel code, and it told me like 3 simple steps to do it, and I did it in like 3 minutes. When we Google, sometimes I think it's the overwhelm of like more ideas or more solutions than we need versus ChatGPT usually gives you just the concise answer that you're looking for. Okay, I have more, but I'm going to stop there because that was a lot, but I hope that it starts to give you an idea of how you can use it. Don't be overwhelmed, but I really challenge you to try to use it 3 times this week, right? Maybe you ask it for recipe ideas. Maybe you ask it for vacation ideas, vacation planning, itineraries. I love using it to write content, to name my programs, right? For personal journaling and reflecting. Tell me, email me 3 ideas or 3 ways you think you can try and use it more. But I really feel like it's a tool of the future and a tool that's only going to get more advanced. I think about that. My kids love Alexa, right? It's so nice because they can ask it like, how many days till Christmas, right? They ask it, how do I spell XYZ, right? Just so many like different character things, basically anything they can ask me. Obviously, I'm not trying to replace myself, but like they can ask Alexa, really fun. How do you say this in Spanish, right? All the time for school. And I just feel like let's really start acclimating using tools like this now because I think they're only going to get more advanced and more integrated in our work. So I think it's almost like an essential business tool to start normalizing this for us. And really, it's a benefit to you, but I just think it's where the future is going and it's where we need to embrace for our business, for our work. And so I just want to challenge you to get really comfortable with it even now. I have it bookmarked on my computer, but I also have the app. There's a ChatGPT app that works really great, and I use it on my phone all the time. Okay, this was my Thanksgiving gift to you. Use support, get support, embrace support. Yes, paid support, but also free support. There's no excuse. Allow yourself that support, and I would love to hear what you think. Okay, from my heart to yours, happy Thanksgiving. I could not be more grateful to have you in the Heart Centered Entrepreneur community. Honestly, this business is such a blessing, and you are such a big part of that. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called the Heart Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.